My roommates are considering letting an underage girl, 16F, move in with us. Basically, I have 3 roommates and we're all guys between the ages of 22 to 24. We've been looking for a new roommate since our last one moved out. They're currently deciding if we should let a 16-year-old girl move in with us. I'm the only one who seems to think this is weird. My roommates say they don't care how old she is as long as she pays rent every month. The girl says she's emancipated but has no proof of it. I find this weird due to so many reasons. Mainly because we're adults and she's a child and this could be considered kidnapping or something. Is this just me? For a minor to be emancipated, they actually need to have a source of income and housing to prove to a judge that they can be independent from their parents. The fact that she's not provided proof is just an automatic no. You need to contact your landlord and tell them you're not comfortable with the potential new tenant. Myself and another girl did move in with like 3 guys when I was 16. 1, I was recently orphaned, homeless, and super glad to avoid going into the system, but it was weird as fuck. I could not even successfully get a job, so they had to support me. Most of them were good guys, but they ended up raising a teen for 2 years. 2, the other guy was definitely banging the other girl. A 24-year-old was sleeping with my 16-year-old friend. So basically it is a bad idea. Even if it helped me, this will likely end badly for you. Also, yeah, good chance one of your roommates is involved with this girl. As long as she pays the rent, and how are they so sure that she can? Edit, I wrote this comment before processing that all of the roommates are guys. I recognize the super creep elements now. Thanks everyone, lol. This sounds like a recipe for disaster and maybe some criminal charges. This sounds like a fucking disaster in the making. Put your foot down and don't allow this to happen. I inherited my grandparents' house due to my 8 kids. Sister asked for a place to live, which I did out of guilt, but didn't tell me she inherited £200k plus from our parents. Too long didn't read. Sister told me she was about to be evicted and had blown through her small inheritance. I let her live with me totally free as I felt guilty as I got a much bigger inheritance due to having kids. Turns out she got a very big inheritance she kept secret and she should still have well over 200k. I'm 27F with 8 kids. Some bio, some adopted, some soon to be stepkids, all long stories. I'm engaged to 28 meters. My sister is 30, does not have kids, nor does she want them. Same for her husband. Due to the kids, my maternal grandparents left me their home when they passed, which was 6 bedrooms, and some cash, while my sister just got cash. Paternal grandparents left me and my kids about 80% of their estate, while my sister, parents, and uncle split the remaining 20% between them. Our parents passed in 2018. Our relationship was bad enough that I didn't even know they passed until my uncle told me after. I knew things were strained, but I didn't know our relationship was that bad. This pushed me to reach out to my sister and ask if we could be friends again, which she agreed to, and we've been back in touch since 2018. I received about $2,000 from our parents, and my sister told me that our parents were in a lot of debt when they passed, so once that was paid off, me, her, and my uncle had gotten a third each of what was left. I was fine with that, and didn't pry further as I didn't need the money and I believed my sister. As the house is 6 bedrooms and I have 8 kids, I've had to create more space, which I did by building an annex and a studio. The former is attached to the house and the latter is separate. The studio was completed 4 months ago. 3 months ago, my sister told me that she and her husband lost their jobs March last year, have been living off inheritance since, had nothing left, and were at risk of eviction. I said they could stay in the studio. I have problems with my sister's husband, so living in close quarters has not been easy, but I felt guilty about her potentially being homeless when I inherited a home. I refused to take any money off them because they had no money and told me they were job seeking. I talked to my uncle last week and I mentioned that my sister and Bill were staying here until they got back on their feet, and my uncle was shocked, saying the last time they talked, my sister and Bill were talking about buying a house, and had never mentioned any issues with work. I interrogated him a little and it turns out that I got just over 2K from my parents, as did my uncle, but my sister got well over 200 grand, and there was no debt that took the rest out. I'm not mad about the lying, I don't want any of the money, but I've let them live for free in my studio for a few months now, not charging them a penny, including them in our meals, sharing my home, putting up with their bullshit, and they had hundreds of thousands in the bank the entire time. What should I do now? How do I react to this without completely blowing up my relationship with my sister? How do you know your uncle is telling the truth? He was the executor and he seemed to think I knew already. He could be lying, but I have no reason to doubt him. Hey sis, we are going to move our family into our studio space for use as intended. We want and need the room we built for us. Please find alternate living arrangements other than hereby. 3mo. 2mo. What feels fair? Just make it a firm date, not timeline, please and thank you. If you need help looking for a new place, just let me know. I'm happy to help you search online and I'm sure I will be available to help you to load out belongings too. Leave it at that. No unnecessary confrontations and no more freeloading either. Confront her with your uncle. That's what I would do. This might be a good method of approaching her, but I am concerned that she might feel we're ganging up on her, and I'm cautious about how far things are going to escalate. I get not wanting to ruin your relationship, being completely honest is best. I was talking to Uncle the other day and he said that you inherited around $200,000 from mom and dad and were planning on buying a house soon. That's so great, you didn't tell me you were looking. This is the best approach in my opinion. It implies I know you lied to me and starting the conversation off positively like that will avoid a blow up. Then you lead them into why lie about something like that and start talking to them about the move, see if you can help with the legwork for it to get them out of your home if that's something you're open to. This seems like it would be best approach for what your end goals are. Celebratory hands in the air, hope it works out for you. I think a lot of people are ignoring the fact that your sister and husband lied in order to suggest that you should be sympathetic to your sister. Did you get a better deal than her in inheritance? Yes, but a lot of that money is specifically for your children, not you. I get why your grandparents chose as they did and your sister should be able to see that perspective as well, especially with the, somewhat, leveling your parents undertook. Regardless of whether or not she received more money or less, she lied to you in order to get rent-free housing and free hot meals, essentially coasting and freeloading while you lose money, on bills and on food etc., to support her taking up your space and your resources. You need to get her out. Anybody who can lie about something so massive in order to benefit themselves is someone you want at a healthy distance. You need to gently inform her that hey, money is a bit tight now and we need the space, so you have, however many weeks or months, to find somewhere else. If she complains, it's time to, once again gently, assert that you know about the 200K and that she is more than capable of taking care of herself. I can empathize with your sister for any jealousy she might feel, but that's absolutely no excuse for taking advantage of your generosity through lying as egregiously as she has. My 24F younger sister, 16F, thinks she's parentified. She isn't. Offer to help was met with yelling. I am the oldest of dad's 7 kids. He had me and my brother, 20 meters, and sisters, 19F and 22F, with my mother. Then he left mum, married stepmom, and had 3 more kids, 16F, 11 meters, and 8F, my half-siblings. Currently all of dad's children, except me and 20 meters, live with him. I'll refer to 16F as Addie. Addie is in secondary school, doing her GCSEs this year. She feels she is being parentified. Her reasoning is, Addie has to walk to and from school with 11 meters, they're in the same school, 10 minutes from home. She has recently begun eating different food to everyone else, so dad has told Addie she needs to cook for herself, though Addie is welcome to eat their food and they buy her products. She has chores such as taking out the bins and doing laundry 1 day a week. Stepmom, dad, and my full siblings do it the rest of the time. Addie earns an allowance from this. Addie is asked to babysit whenever dad and stepmom need a babysitter. The offer is extended to Addie as well as 19F and 22F, and they are paid for this. 11 meters and 8F don't have as many chores as she does. I'm usually Addie's go-to person if she needs help or advice. However, when Addie complained that she was being parentified due to the above reasons, none of the above struck me as parentification. I tried to be sympathetic and listen, but I really think she's overhyping this. I have checked with 19F and 22F, and they confirmed that the above is accurate and she is not being parentified. Regardless, I said that if she ever needs a break, she can come stay with me, 20 minutes away. She asked if she could come to live with me until end of the school year. Said if she thought it would help with her GCSEs and dad okays it, then sure. Adding that my daughter, age 7, would love to have her Aunt Addie around. Addie then asked if she'd have to babysit. I said no, but if I need a sitter I might ask her and pay her, just like at home. I also said she would have to cook her own meals as I won't have time to make 2 separate dinners, though I will buy her food, and I'm not about to start doing her laundry or cleaning her room like stepmom does. Though she won't have to pay rent or anything like that. Addie then yelled at me that she needs a break from all that, she doesn't want to continue the parentification at my place, and I blurted that she was not being parentified. She said I was invalidating her feelings, and is now not taking my calls. She is, however, reading my messages. What can I say to communicate that her feelings are valid, and I didn't mean to upset her, but she is not being parentified. Too long didn't read. 16-year-old, half, sister feels her chores are on par with parentification and asked me for help. Said she could stay with me, but she still had to do chores. She said I was continuing the parentification and I said she wasn't being parentified, and now she's ignoring my calls. What should I say to her? When my youngest uncle, 8 years my senior, was born, my grandmother broke her ribs and had some severe infection that forced her into the hospital for months. My younger uncle was about 2 at the time and my was 14. She ended up helping her stepdad with the younger kids aged 2, 4, and 5. My granddad was a farmer and needed help. It was summer. 2 got to the point that called my mom. She always had to watch her half-sibs and never got paid. When she could drive she became chauffeur. Parentification is becoming the parent for the younger siblings or your parent. Not you parents ask a 16 years old to help watch kids and pay her. It's really cute that 16 found a hot word to try to guilt everyone, though. That's so far from parentification it's not even funny. Where did she even learn that word? Parentification is when it's your job to get everyone else, even your parents, up and ready for the day. Parentification is when your parents make you do chores for the entire household and let your other siblings roam free. Parentification is when they wake you up at 12 o'clock at night to do stuff for them. Parentification is when you literally do the job your parents are supposed to be doing. Clearly the fact she's being treated like a normal 16-year-old with responsibilities is so far out of her realm of perfection that she thinks it's okay to gaslight people. Let her go. When she finds herself jobless and unable to hold a relationship, she'll learn the true meaning of the word and how privileged she is. She says she became informed about it through social media. I'm assuming TikTok, as that's pretty much all the social media she uses. I completely agree with your summary, and I was doing all of that for my mother when I was younger than Addie is now. But I'm trying to find the balance of letting Addie feel heard and not letting Addie make herself a victim here.